You know of any stories that tell connections between non-humans and Mormons?
Well, there's a lot of strange stuff that goes on underneath the Mormon temple. And nearby the Mormon temple, of course, is right in the heart of Salt Lake. And it has sub-basements upon sub-basements upon sub-basements. We've been in some of them. And it's been reported that right across, well, it's not been reported, it's a fact, that right across from the Mormon temple is a downtown urban mall. I forget the name of it. And in the basement of the mall, numerous times, the cleaning people have seen large reptilian figures walking on two legs, scurrying through the basement of the mall. Also,
and on the floor of the Denver airport, embedded in the tiles as you get off, are little reptiles all over the floor. And in the stained glass windows are swastikas and the fleur-de-lis. So it's in front of your face, right in front of you. I don't even believe what I'm telling you. Go look for yourself. Yeah. Yep. And I have the photographs, which I left at home, but I have them. And outside the airport, on a big plaque, it says, dedicated to the people of Denver by the New World Airport Organization. And underneath Denver Airport, and some subterranean cavern that they built, contractors built something with enough concrete to build a 6-lane highway between Denver and Chicago. That's how much is built underneath the airport, which, by the way, has been built an hour away from Denver. And when you drive into the airport, there are cameras that monitor your license plate no matter where you're from. And when you leave, they monitor again. So whoever goes in, they know who comes out. And if there's anything blocking your license plate, they will stop you and make you clear it off so they can monitor it. The underground is a gigantic holding pen with entrances and subterranean caverns that crisscross North America. And it's built directly over what the government refers to as a reptilian nest. These are nests where there are large pockets of reptilian cultures living there. One of the largest areas extends from Monmouth area of California around Mount Shasta, all the way down to the Mojave, 29 Palms area, and then east to Arizona and what is commonly known as Area 51 in Nevada. That is one of the largest underground reptilian areas.
The first full-time self-contained Eden, or biosphere for extraterrestrial life forms, is founded in North America, underground along what is now known as New Mexico and Arizona. Now, this first Eden was created 899,701 Earth years ago. Okay, and this was by the sea car in New Mexico, Arizona border. Okay, they still fancy the desert. They still fancy the desert, the reptilians.
I went over to their house. Sometimes I'd go over there on the weekends, and he and I and the mother and the girls, we would take off and we'd go up to Palmdale. And that's back in 1959, 53 years ago. And there's only a couple of warehouses out there, military and that kind of thing. This is like 50, 60 miles north of Los Angeles. And we go way out into the desert. And I remember walking out in the desert with him, and the girls would take off with their mother, and they were roaming around. He and I would go to caves, and he knew right where they were. He drove right up to them. It was the caves going into the ground. One of them had tracks going down, so it was obviously a mining hole. And we went down there, we went way down, we had the flashlights with us, and my girlfriend went with me about halfway, and then she got spooked and decided wanted out, and so we went on down further, just the father and I, until we hit water. And he told me, he said, yeah, they were digging down here and they were mining and they hit water and they all died and they're all dead down there. And then other ones he would stop at, we'd get out and he would show me, we'd walk up to the opening in the ground as some kind of like a little hill, and on the other side of the hill would be a hole. And we'd go around and I'm looking at this little hole in this side of this little hill. And we'd go down there for a little bit with the flashlight. And obviously somebody made that hole, somebody made that entrance into that hill. And we could shine the light down and see us going down further. And he said, this is as far as we can go. We can't go any further. And he would tell me, I remember distinctly one time he said, we were walking down this hole, and this looked like a mining hole, but there was no tracks there. And he stopped and he said, this is as far as we can go. We can't go any further. And I said, why not? And he said, well, because there are aliens here. They're down there, and you will be safe as long as you're with me, and I'm safe as long as I don't go any further. I wanted you to see that there are aliens here, and they live down here, but we're not going to go see them, believe me. And we're all right now, but if we go any further, we'll be in trouble. So I think it's time that we...
What? Oh my God.
Have you ever seen something out of the corner of your eye, but when you look, nothing's there? Do this to find out what it was. Whenever we're looking at something in front of us, our conscious mind is focused on it, like when you're watching TV or having a conversation with someone. Your conscious mind can get so engaged with what's happening in front of it, your peripheral vision starts to slip into this receptive state. And in that receptive state, you may start to become aware of other energy that's around you, like spirits or ghosts. And that's what you're catching out of the corner of your eye. But what happens when you turn and look at it, you bring your conscious awareness to whatever was there, and boom, you're out of that receptive state. So if you want to figure out who it was or what it was, do this. Next time you sense something out of the corner of your eye, don't look at it. Keep focusing on whatever you are focusing on in front of you, and bring your awareness to whatever you're sensing out of the corner of your eye without looking at it. Just sit there feeling into the energy, and you're going to start to become aware of what or who it is. Once you figure out who it is, say hello. Find out why they're there and what they're doing. They probably have a message for you.
Oh, thanks for watching up to this far, man. You see, this video mostly for entertainment purposes, and for you to do a critical review of them and some research and tell us what you think about them. You see, much love to you for watching up to this far. You are very, very respected. You see, some few guys they have been doing the hitting the super thanks button, and God bless you. Much love. That act is an act that I don't know how I can reward you. You know, I say that all the time, and I just wish the universe can reward you so much that you even be surprised. Even your generation, your family, everybody. Much love to you guys. Even our subscribers. You see those subscribers that have been watching, you are respected. Much love to you too. You are wonderful people. You see, just spread this message of love, peace, and forgiveness. Let's keep watching. Watch till the end.
You need to watch this video, because in this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly what's happening in the world right now and how we're going to save it. There is only one lens worth looking at the world through. Before the skeptics scroll, please just give me a few minutes and keep an open mind. This is a war on magical people. This video is going to be the most important video you ever watch about saving the world. That is no exaggeration. So if you care about our future, please don't scroll. Have a little patience, sit down, take a few deep breaths, get your coffee, and hear me out. And one more advisement to the skeptics. The Torah, the Holy Bible, and many other spiritual texts are not woo-woo nonsense fantasy stories, okay? They're books of history, philosophy, and science. This is recorded history, okay? Despite what Sir Francis Bacon rewrote in the King James Version of the Bible, this is what really happened. And in Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 14, we find that the God of legions, aka Yahweh, who had control of a fiefdom on the planet, decided to punish all of the indigenous people of the world because they wouldn't worship him as a lord of the land. This being was semi-spiritual, metaphysical, but also physical. In this chapter, it explains that the true Hebrew Israelites will be taken from their home. Their home will be ravaged and pillaged. All will be taken away. They'll be brought to a new place and subjugated, basically put in an open-air prison. Does that sound familiar? It's basically every single indigenous population on the planet right now. African Americans, Native Americans, the ones that starts with a P that I get in trouble for talking about, that's currently going on in the Middle East. Why? Because these are the natural-born human beings on the planet, and they have very special powers. And anyone who has lineage to them, like myself, for instance, part of the Muskegee tribe, we also have magical powers. The reason when that thing happened a few years ago and they said we couldn't be close together physically and they wouldn't allow us to congregate and then they gave us that thing, that was to stop us from connecting our bioelectric fields. Why is this important? Because this is actually a dream realm. As the Hopi explained, they walked into this reality knowing it was a dream. But after many years, we all forgot. Why do you think they're constantly attacking your consciousness? What do you think gang stalking is really about? What do you think it means when a friend or a family member that you're really close to, they've always been cool, all of a sudden starts losing their mind and acting possessed? They possess everyone around you to mess with your consciousness. What they're truly trying to stop is you becoming a master of light. What that means is mastering all the light that moves through you and pulling in the Holy Spirit, aka Chi, and then achieving the flow of the Tao, which means knowing exactly how to think and act and speak in every moment, where you execute perfectly for what you're looking for, which relates back to the Michelangelo painting, creation of Adam. When you get in touch with God, which is the God is on a cloud shaped like a brain, when you get in touch with your own mind, you get God consciousness, and that's why Christ said he was God, because he was possessed by the Holy Spirit. It's a good possession. God flows through him and he speaks as if he was God because God is in him. God dwells in him and the consciousness of God dwells with him. And then virtues are executed perfectly. Mercy, justice, compassion, courage, love, etc., etc. They're trying to destroy our higher consciousness, and they're trying to break our hearts and spirits because the consciousness is like the electrical flow. The emotion is what adds amplitude to it. Notice that they're always messing with our minds. They're always giving us a news story to worry about. We're getting random people sent into our life just to cause chaos. Everything is a war on consciousness. And magic emanates from consciousness. So what do we do about it? We have to be masters of light. I need you to take really seriously what I'm about to say to you. You think, therefore you create. Seek and thee shall find. Ask and you shall receive. But you have to be in the constant focused state. If you want something in your life, let's say you want the world to be better or you want a little bit of prosperity, you can set that intention in the moment. But if you start to think about something else that's counterproductive to that, like let's say I want my house paid off. And you put the intention in that, like you believe, and then you feel the emotion, just like Greg Braden explains when Christ instructs Thomas how to pray. You have to think of the thing as if it's happening now, feel the emotion as if you were a child imagining in your mind what it would feel like to have the thing, and already be thankful that it's here. And then, Allahu Amin Amen Ruach, breath to spirit. You breathe in the intention, the energy of the Holy Spirit. You put that into the world. You feel the emotion of it. Your bioelectric field expands, and you start affecting the quantum reality and the morphogenetic field. And you actually cause disruptions in space-time. And the only thing that goes from not having the miracle to having the miracle is buffer time. And the buffer time is based on your focus and intention in your mind, the laser beam, and the amplitude of your bioelectric field, your emotions and well-being. So it's like a butterfly effect. When you affect the space-time with your consciousness, here's the thing, again, with skeptics, when you think, you emanate frequencies out of your skull, which then can get picked up on by other people, because there's a universal language of neuron firing in your brain that every single human being on the planet knows, and we are all epigenetically layered with basically every language that's ever existed. Everyone that thinks they're having past lives aren't having past lives, they're having ancestral memories, because all the memories of all our ancestors are epigenetically layered. Every time you've ever thought a thought, at the same time that the neurons firing in your brain, it is recording on your DNA. That's proven. That's proven. Every single memory is on your DNA. Your soul is the energetic component of the DNA. Your soul becomes more articulated and organized and sustained the more you individuate as a person and build that character and write to your DNA. That's what the soul is, and that's what the Merkaba light body is that condensed energy of that energetic DNA expressing your existence without the physical body. So what do we need to do? This is the first meditation that you need to do, okay? I want you to just sit down and take some deep breaths, and I want you to imagine where your soul is, where the light of God enters into the universe and manifests you. Take a couple seconds, breathe it in. Most likely you're going to feel it here in the solar plexus or down here above the belly button, kind of that area. That's where your soul is. That's where God enters into you and makes you exist. You're going to feel something down there, okay? Breathing into it, I'm going to tell you what you're going to see. Probably a small little seed-shaped object of a light blue and white. This is your soul. It is incorruptible. Can't mess with it. Can't do anything to it. That's God. That's God that cannot be rivaled. What you're going to start doing is breathing into that little seed. And that seed is going to transform and get bigger and bigger and turn into a big diamond. And every time it gets bigger, it can't be messed with. It can't be touched. It's incorruptible. So don't worry about this, like, spiritual attack, people hurting your feelings. You'll feel the spirit and you'll be like, wow, it can't be, it's perfect. It's indestructible, incorruptible. And I want you to try to grow that light every day. And I want you to try to keep a part of your mind always focusing on the soul. This is the Philosopher's Stone. You can understand this better by reading The Secret to Everlasting Life by Richard Berschringer. Where are we going to go from here? We're going to do the Christ walk. So once you start developing this spirit energy, you're going to take deep breaths, and with every step, every time you pick up something, every time you're reading a book, you're going to be thinking of what it would be like to be a Christ doing all those things, and execute every single one of them perfectly in the present moment, and keep your consciousness exactly where you want it to be. And what's the third step? We learn the new song, we strengthen the right hand, which is when we're going to meet in the astral realm. I'm going to start visiting you in your dreams, okay? We're going to start meeting in an agreed upon shared space in the astral realm, and we're going to start training our magical powers, okay? So keep on the lookout and make sure you look for me in your dreams. God bless. Peace, love, and respect.
Oh my god! Please, I don't know about that.
I'm living proof that scripting is real. I didn't even think I'd make this video to say that because I'm a skeptic. I don't believe in a lot of the new age woo-woo stuff on TikTok today. Like, I've moved past it, you know, especially in the last 2 years. But it worked. I even hate to admit it, but it did work. I did the 3-6-9 method thing, but I followed it for a year straight. So today, I know you can't really tell, I live in Miami, and I used to live in Michigan when I was scripting. I have a home studio, a music studio. I have my DJ decks. I have my Ableton Push, speakers, the whole 9 yards. And I never had any of that before, nor did I even fathom I would have those things. I didn't even fathom I'd be in Miami. Long story short, in this journal, I wrote the same things down every single day, did not miss one day. and I would write down in like topics, right? But I'd write the same thing. The first one would be, I am grateful for my home in Miami, my DJ career, my home studio, and my friends. And I'd write that down every day, 3, 6, 9 times in the morning or at night. Then after that, I would write, I am grateful for the 5 life-changing miracles I have experienced in, and then I'd put the year. Then after that, I would write, I trust myself, I love myself, I am worthy of these things. And I never skipped a day. Some days I didn't want to do it. Some days I didn't feel it. But it literally worked. Like, this thing is filled to the brim, word for word, what I just said, and it worked. So if you're questioning anything, literally write down your hopes, your dreams, and your wishes. Keep writing it down every single day and just come back to this video and tell me what happens.
That kind of makes sense somehow, because
No, that's not poop, it's ribbings. So I'm driving, I shit you not, and this literally flew in my truck. While I was driving, flew in my truck. Now he's looking at me, and I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, he flew inside my truck and sat behind my back. Sit behind my back, and now, like, it's a big ass fucking owl. Like, I had my windows halfway down, and this motherfucker came.
My mom and ask her who to call.
I feel bad because it's making this chirping noise.
Yo, why are those guys worried? That should just be good vibes in that animal. Oh my god.
Let's see. Get it.
Horrible throw.
It's alright. It might float into it. Pumpkin in a whirlpool. Oh, did it take it down again? It just went down.
It's still right there, right under the surface.
Oh yeah? See if it pops back out again.
That last time it went down probably 3 or 4 feet.
Do you still see it?
Just barely. No, here it comes again.
That's awesome. Oh, back down again.
Still just right there.
Pumpkin holes. Oh, it's getting bigger.
That pumpkin is just spinning so fast right now.
You still see the pumpkin?
I do. Yeah, here it comes again. Nope. Oh, that time it might have gone all the way.
Do you think it took it down?
Nope, it's right there again.
Oh, coming back up.
It's hanging out about... Well, no, I think it's gone now.
Oh, it took it down. Let's go over to the other side and see if we have a pumpkin coming up. No way. That would be so awesome. There it is! Oh my god!
Oh, that's awesome.
We did it.
Oh, no way.
Can somebody explain this? Look at this giant ass bird walking in the sky. Man, y'all stay walk out there. Oh, wait.
Yo, what's up with that bird, man?
So I suspect that these are magnets and that they are connected into these 2 pieces right here, and that these boxes moving through the magnets is allowing a charge to both, is allowing an anode and a cathode to work, that it is effectively a super rudimentary motor deconstructed and split apart.
Well, I can't tell you if you're right. It's the frustrating thing. But you know, the people who are in the know tell me that when they eventually found out the secret, they were a bit disappointed. They preferred it when it remained an exciting mystery. So
then I submit that it's a motor. I submit that it's a motor because that is absolutely how I would feel if someone said it was a motor. I'd be like, I'm disappointed.
We have actually got just over here the envelope with the
Can I
secret in
see
it.
the
Shall I
envelope?
show you the envelope?
Yes, yeah. So awesome.
Here we go. It's a repurposed tax envelope, UK tax office envelope. So this is so Martin Polyakov, who is the fellow who donated it to the society, he persuaded his friend David Jones to write down the secret before he passed away, and David gave him this envelope with the secret in.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and I mean, he made other designs of perpetual motion machine as well. So this one was made for in the 1980s for the British Association kind of exhibition, which is a big popular science exhibition. And that's when they ran this competition to see if anyone could figure out how it worked. Apparently one person guessed the answer correctly, and he wrote a letter back to them. David Jones wrote a letter back to them saying he would neither confirm nor deny that it was correct. And that's the closest he ever got to giving it away. But yeah, so these are a couple of other designs. I don't know if that helps you figure things out, but these are some of his other designs.
We don't know that these necessarily
We don't know they work in the same way, on the same basis, just with different sort of architecture.
But I still see the same thing. I see boxes moving through these U-shaped, what I would assume would be a U-shaped magnet. And here again, a similar. See, okay, now that I'm. Maybe these don't have anything to do with because they're all insulated. They're not completing any kind of circuit. I think maybe that is also. I think that might also be a distraction, and the light things coming in might be a distraction. Yeah. We did a whole episode on this, and we got more mail for that one episode, and we actually had a difficulty even in framing the episode because you can't prove a negative.
Sure.
There's no percentage in that.
Yeah.
So we decided to buy some kits that promised over unity. And when none of them worked, we said, well, we've given it our best shot. But something tells me this is not the first perpetual motion machine that has arrived at the Royal Society.
Absolutely not. So people seem to persist in the opinion that the Royal Society would give a prize to anyone who solved this perpetual motion mystery, impossibility.
And is there a prize?
There never was.
Okay.
But people kept writing and writing to the Royal Society well into the 20th century saying, I've solved it, I want a prize. There was no such prize. There was a longitude prize, of course, but yeah, no prize for
perpetual. I remember you guys were a little late in paying that one off.
We were a bit overdue on that bill, you're quite right, yeah.
Yo, that's a challenging theory, man. How does it work? Oh, I'd really like to know. That person that made that must have been a genius. And if there must be a genius watching back there, you can tell us in the comment section what you think about it. Much love to you for watching up to this far. You are respected and loved and good vibes to the world. Keep it tuned for another very fire episode. We are out.